Let me tell you about my awesome day at the York 2025 Spring Train Show. To put it in one word, I had an awesome day. As a model railroader, it doesn't really get much better than being able to go look for trains and to meet people, which was actually probably one of the best parts of the entire day. Hear their stories, tell my story, and to get a chance to see some neat layouts, including the Lower Susquehanna layout, which was a little side trip that we took on during the entire day. So stay tuned, and I'll tell you a little bit more about each of all the hunt for the items that I was looking for, the people I met, some of the stories they told me, and about this really great visit to a neat model railroad club. There was just a couple items that I was looking to add to my collection at York. I made it very specific in terms of the items that I was looking for, with the hopes that perhaps I wouldn't find them and therefore would be able to retain a little bit of my money with going to York. But as you can see, it didn't quite work out that way. But these were really good finds, and let me tell you about the hunt. One of the things I was looking for was a caboose to go along with the recently acquired red and white Western Maryland GP35 that you may have saw in the previous video. Didn't think it would be too difficult to find. Someone certainly would have one, but it took going to a couple of different halls. I went into an orange hall, and there at Trains, I was able to, one of the neat things I thought about a lot of the larger vendors was that they had databases that had what they had in stock at the show. And so when I asked the representative at Trains if they had a Western Maryland caboose, they went and they dug around and they pulled it out. They didn't show it to me. It was very coy, and I thought it was really fun that they said, "I don't know if this is what you're looking for," and they turned it around. I was like, exactly what I'm looking for, and it was at a great price. I didn't even try to negotiate for it, but it was needless to say, it was less than $50, which I thought was pretty good for Premier caboose. So that's that item right there. The other item that you see was just a deal that I just couldn't pass up on. This was, I think, maybe in the purple hall. So it's a little ironic. I found a MTH in the orange hall, and I found a Line L in the purple hall. I don't know. That's maybe how it all works out. That was just $10, and I just said, I collect C&O, B&O, Norfolk and Western, Western Maryland, a couple other railroads in Virginia, and so I had to pick that up as well. The long box, that's a story in and of itself, and I'll tell you that next. A little over a year ago, I got this Virginian Trainmaster from MTH. Great engine, really love it. Kind of the reason I got it was because I had some Virginian coal cars. And so I said, well, I have coal cars. I need an engine to pull it. And then I got a caboose for it in black and yellow. And so I've done videos on those on my previous videos. And you can check them out because they're great cars and engines, and they run really well. So then I'm thinking, well, if I go a little farther back in the Virginian history, there was at one point they had a steam engine that was pulling their long coal trains, and that steam engine was a triplex. Didn't think I'd ever get another triplex. I had a one, and I'll put the link to the video. It was an Erie, and it was a Rail King model. And I said, I don't really do Erie. It's not my scene here at Harper's Ferry, Potomac Valley, and Cumberland. So I let it go. All right. And but one of the things I really thought was really cool was all those drivers. And as you know, or if you didn't know, but you should be able to tell, I'm addicted to articulateds, and But getting back to the hunt, yes, one of the things that I was looking for at York was a triplex. And as you know, recently Lionel has acquired the mold for the triplex from MTH. MTH no longer makes a triplex, a triplex, triplex, however way you want to pronounce it. Um, and they released it, I think just last year or so, a bunch of different models, including an Erie, a Virginian, which were the only two railroads that used the triplex. And so as I'm going through the show, I'm looking, I'm like, oh, I'm looking for a triplex, Virginian specifically, and I come across this one table where there it is. And it was a pretty good price. Unlike in New York's in the past that I've attended, and I had not been in a while, you can bring your phone, and so I was able to go into my phone and look and see what are the current prices. And this vendor had one of the Vision Line triplex that was one of the best prices for a triplex I had ever seen. Okay. So I'm thinking, okay, but still a little bit more than what I wanted to spend. And it wasn't exactly what I was looking for. I really wanted the MTH version. And the reason why I want the MTH version is because I don't have Lionel legacy system. I don't have a base 3. I've been a DCS and TMCC operator for all, and that's how this layout is set up. And so the features, the extra features that the Lionel had, like the wheel slip and smoking whistle and a few other things that they added to the MTH version, were features that I wouldn't really ever be able to take advantage of. So I'm thinking that with people upgrading to the Lionel version, certainly there should be an MTH version. And they made the MTH made the triplex in 3 different years. I think it was like 2001 or thereabouts, 2002, then again in 2008 or so, and then finally with PS3. The previous versions were PS2, but in 2015 they did it in with PS3, and that one had some additional features, Rule 17 lighting, and some other neat features, quillable whistle. And I said, that's the one that if I could find it, I'd seriously consider getting one of those. And because it's MTH and it's a little older model, should cost less than the line. So as you can probably imagine by now, I found it. This model is the 2015 PS3 triplex from MTH. It There's a story that goes along with this engine, or the find of this engine. I stopped off. We went to the Blue Hall, and one of the first vendors was there. I was looking at their table, and I saw some engines that I already had, and so I was like, I'll just keep on walking, keep looking. So I go all the way to the end of the hall. I come all the way back, and as I'm walking, coming around the end of the aisle, I look down and I see a sign. It says, "Big Boy and uh, triplex." And I'm like, when I was looking at this same vendor before, I didn't see the triplex, and because it was hidden behind the big boy. And so now I'm looking at it, and I'm like, well, okay, it's probably a Lionel, And I ask, is it a Lionel or MTH? I said, oh, it's MTH. I'm like, okay, well, it's probably a PS2 model, And they're like, no, it's PS3. And I'm like, okay. And so I'm kind of get excited. I'm like, "Ooh, this is exactly the one that I'm looking for." And I asked to see the box, and I look at the box, and it's the right number. And so then I said, can you do anything with that price? I offered them $100 less, and they said, yeah, sure. And with that, I had a Virginian triplex, and was going to bring it home and run it. And so we'll do that in a video, and we'll unbox it and do that in a video coming up next. Okay. I met so many nice people while I was at York. There were just the lady who got me registered, and looked up my old TCA number. The president, Bob, of the Virginia TCA group, who invited me to come to one of their meetings. Um, the different vendors that I spoke to about the products that they had. Everybody was courteous. Everyone had a story to tell to one degree or another, which I think is really kind of the difference between going in person and shopping and looking for trains versus going online. The stories that people tell about how they acquired this item or the deal that they found, or uh, we talked about the different vendors. I mean, not the vendors, about MTH and Lionel and the differences and the products that they have. So many conversations with club members, with vendors, and just other attendees in the sort. And of course, conversations, plenty of conversation with my friend Tom, who was courteous enough to not only invite me to come along with him to York this year, but to also to drive. And I really want to appreciate that he suggested that we go visit the Lower Susquehanna, because after a full day of shopping for trains, we took a break and then went on over to their clubhouse and to their open house, and I'll show you some video of that and how that went in the later in the video. So in finding, as I was telling you about the story about the triplex and some of the other items that I found, every item at York comes with a story. And in those stories add value to whatever it is that you're looking to get and buy. Even if the stories or just information on where to find the item that you're looking for, those attributes of attending in person at York are things that I had forgotten since I had last attended, and that I find great value of. And many people have spoken about the idea that by attending in person and meeting your friends and having conversations, even with strangers that we sat down with and talked to at lunch, um, all make the visit in the day at York more awesome. And so, to all the people that came up to me and said, "Oh, I recognize you from your YouTube channel, and yeah, I love your content. I love you back." I really appreciate the feedback, and it makes me want to continue to do videos like this and tell you more about my layout and things that I'm doing, and make and about the hobby, because that was the thing that everyone that was there shared a love for um, model railroading, no matter what gauge they were, even though most of it was okay. And it just made for me a really, really great day. So if you do get a chance to go this fall or in the spring, do so and take a friend. Go with a friend. It makes it so much better to have the teamwork to compare and show, hey, I found this deal, I found that deal. What do you think? And also that you can egg each other on to spend more money than you really have or that you intended to do. So um, look forward to the next video where we'll get this triplex unboxed and give it a run. Thanks for watching. As always, subscribe and like, and we'll see you down the track.